Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another fantastic episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a cheese burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have a special guest tonight, an 18-year-old sensation who is actually making a name for herself in the Midwest. Shout out to all the people, actually more specifically, Chi-Town, Chicago, the Windy City. Shout out to all the good folks over there. She's actually battled opponents such as Misa Kate, Sky Blue, and Heather Reckless. Everybody, welcome to the show, Leslie La Muñeca. How you doing tonight, miss?
Woo! Hi. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. And
no problem.
I'm very surprised that you got the Muñeca part right, because not a lot of people do that. So I appreciate it.
Let me guess. They say Muñeca. They say Muñeca.
Yeah. But thank you for getting it right.
Well, I took Spanish 1 and 2 in college, so I know that the tilde on above the N, you got to pronounce it. So. Yeah, that's just me learning stuff. I mean, but
yeah, I'm horrible at stuff. I mean, I'll go to Taco Bell and be like, "Hey, I need a corn tortilla." You know what I mean? So, hey, don't ask me about stuff.
Rob, come on, man. You're the connoisseur of tacos. How you gonna not pronounce like the L as a Y, man? Come on. But Leslie, I just gotta say it's an honor to have you on the show. We know you followed us on Twitter, and I was like, we DM people and ask them to be on the show that don't even know of us or follow us. Why not DM somebody who is actually, following us, interested in us? Why not? So here we are. So with that being said, what is it? So I gotta ask you, I mean, you're an 18-year-old sensation. You're doing big things. A lot of people, they don't start at 18. They start like a little older, not too older, like probably 20, 21 or whatever. But smack dab. As a matter of fact, you've been wrestling since high school, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I've been wrestling since I was 12.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I started training at 12 and I had my debut at 13.
Wow, that's crazy. All right. So that's very impressive. I think that's younger than when Paige started wrestling, because I don't think Paige started until she was like what, 15 or 16 or something like that. Wow, that's pretty impressive. So we're gonna talk about that in a bit, but I gotta ask you, how did you become a fan of pro wrestling? What was the match or event that made you become a fan?
I think it was the whole AJ Lee storylines. I think a lot of people have been fans of AJ Lee, but I think the way her character was developed in WWE, like I fell in love with that and her wrestling skills.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. Every time I think of AJ Lee, I see the little girl that she was when she was crying over when she met crying tears of joy, if I might add. And I don't mean to make fun of her. I'm not making fun of her at all. I mean, I understand how it is to meet your hero, somebody you've looked up to. But I always see her, being that, when she was that fan, when she was so excited and crying, and when she met Lita. And then fast forward how many years later, she's in that same situation where she's the wrestler, and a now NXT wrestler Roxy was actually got to meet her. So it's crazy. I got a feeling you're gonna be in that same situation too, Leslie. I got a gut feeling that you're gonna have some fan right now that's looking up to you, that is saying, "Wow, I want to do it like Leslie La Muñeca, man. She is such an inspiration. The way she moves, the way she is, the way she's on the mic. Mom, Dad, shh. Leslie La Muñeca is talking right now. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to know nothing." I'm pretty sure there is some No, you may laugh. That's why I tell people, don't stop what you're doing. You may think you're on the wrong path. You may think that nobody's not actually watching, but somebody's watching, and somebody's probably gaining inspiration. So I got a good feeling you're going to be in that same situation. You're going to see that fan that's going to walk up to you so overjoyed with emotion because you actually made their night. Always made their night great whenever they saw you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. No problem. So, you know, growing up, did you ever get to go to any WB events or like any of the like indies or so on?
I did go to one indie event. I went to like all the all women shows, like Rise and Shimmer. Uh, I did go to some WWE shows, not all, when they came to Chicago, and I would always like cosplay as AJ, even though she wasn't there. But I did unfortunately get to meet AJ like twice, and it was really cool because like we're the same height, and she like the first time I met her, I gave her one of my medals from wrestling, and then the second time I showed her that she inspired me to become a professional wrestler. And so she actually tweeted the video that I put out. And like that day, I was so happy. I was like screaming all over.
That's awesome. That's great. There's nothing like meeting that person that inspired you, that you always enjoyed watching growing up. Mine is actually The Rock, but I haven't gotten to meet him yet. Hopefully, one day I do get to meet him. But the first two out of the first four wrestlers, well, no, one out of the first four wrestlers I've gotten to meet. He's a bit of a controversial name. I know he's definitely way before your time, but it's a man by the name of Marty Jannetty, and I got to meet him. And I normally don't. I'm one of those fans that I'm normally chiller and calm around, like when I meet wrestlers and so on. But with him, for some reason, I just had to mark out. Like I just could not contain myself. But yeah, it's always a great feeling. It's always a great feeling. So, what would be your reaction if AJ Lee were to come out of retirement and she's like, "My tag team partner"? There's a bunch of you in the room, and she points to you and says, "I want you to be my tag team partner."
I honestly probably, well, of course I would accept, but I probably cry because like there's a bunch of other talented women out there, and the fact that she picked me, I would that would be a shock to me. Like really a dream.
You never know. Things happen. Things happen in wrestling. You never know. So I gotta ask you, man. Like, how did you like? So now that you're a fan, you're going to the shows, you're supporting your favorites and whatnot. How did you go from Leslie, the fan who's going to shows, to Leslie La Muñeca? How did you end up going to wrestling school, and how did you end up starting at 12? Like that's you were the first person. Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm getting old. My memories, it's not gone, but I tend to forget things at times. You know, I think you're like the first wrestler we've had that actually said they started training at 12. So how did that all happen for you?
Well, I first started doing Olympic wrestling at 10 years old, and like I realized it wasn't like my thing, but surprisingly I made it to women's nationals, and like most of the time when I was looking for wrestling schools, I was always turned down only because of my age. They wanted 18 and older, and then I found a place near my house, and they said that the age of 12, and by the time I was 12, and I'm like, Mom, I want to try this. She looked at me a little crazy, but like she knew I could do it. She's like she's not gonna give up, and she's gonna be supporting me. So from there, the dream just went on, and now I'm here. And the name, well, my actual name is Leslie, but the muñeca part I inherited from my mother, because when she was younger, they used to call her La Muñeca. So as I grew up, I inherited the name because I also wanted to carry something from my mom.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. And you're doing pretty well too. I gotta say, kudos to you on starting at 12. So, which if I may ask, which do you remember the name? What's the name of the wrestling school that you went to? I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. I'm
Um,
just
Galley.
Galley. Okay,
It's
I've
just
never heard of
Galley.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that one before, but they seem to be a very great school because I saw that match between you and Misa Kate, and man, you were may have well, you're not the inexperienced one out of the two because you were doing this at 12, but she may have had a bit of an advantage, but man, you were not taking any lefts, man. You showed she may have been on the NWA, but you were definitely showing her that you were not one to play with. And I mean, I saw when she was going for that chair and the referee stopped her, and then she went for the belt, and that's how she got the win over you. And hopefully we get a I don't know if you guys had that match already, another match, but because that one was 7 months ago. But hopefully we get a part two. And I got a feeling she might want to watch out again the next time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for our matches. Missa is one of my trainers currently, so it's like very exciting to be learning from her and her knowledge that she gets from other people as well.
Wow, that's awesome. That's cool. So that was like pretty much like teacher versus student. That's awesome. Those are some of the best matches I've seen when it's teacher versus student. So um, you've wrestled Sky Blue. You've wrestled Sky Blue as well, who's in AEW, and you've also wrestled Heather Reckless from who's also trained at the Black and the Brave. Like who are your top five that you want to wrestle in the very near future? If they're from WWE, go ahead and say them. Because like I said, wrestling is unpredictable. You never know what you're gonna get. So go ahead.
Definitely Charlotte, Rhea Ripley. I want to have my rematch with Cora Jade only because yes, I've wrestled Cora Jade, but she was barely in the indies and she was barely starting, so it's like we were both barely starting at that time, and like we didn't really like know much of each other. And also, I wanted to have a rematch with Roxanne because it was me, Roxanne, Sky Blue, and Dream Girl Ellie in a four-way, and I think we need to run that back. And the fifth one, Becky Lynch.
Nice. Okay. I got a feeling you're gonna. I got a feeling you're gonna make a lot of those goals happen. Trust me. The fact that you started at 12, and I've noticed something that, and Rob, I know you've seen it too. A lot of people that start wrestling at such an early age, they tend to be very successful. You got people like Davey Boy Smith Jr. who started at 15, I believe. You just mentioned her name, Becky Lynch, who started at 15, and who else started at 15? Paige, or Saraya as she's known now. So I got a feeling that you're definitely going to be one to watch as well. So my last question, I know time is running. You got things to do and things happen. I know Rob wants to get some of his questions in as well too. So congratulations on graduating high school. You graduated this year. You know, high school could be a tough time for some people. I don't know if it was tough for you, but for me, it was both. But we managed, and I managed, and now I'm here. Rob did too, and now you're going to college. And I believe you're. I don't mean to put your um personal stuff out there, but now you're going to college and whatnot. So you know, if somebody wanted to do what you're doing and they're in college, right? I know it just started for you. What advice would you be able to give them so far?
Well, um, it's a little hard because I'm like very starting, like you said, but like I keep my education first. I've been keeping my education first. Wrestling's always gonna be. I mean, we're young. I'm a freshman, so like I know I have enough time, but I just been focusing on wrestling in the weekends and then school the week.
Awesome. Cool. So for those of you that are currently, because I know there's some of you out there that are striving to be a pro wrestler and you're actually you're still in high school and you're wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if your parents are cool with it, I mean, go ahead. Izzy did it as well too. Shout out to Izzy Moreno. But for those of you that are out there that are actually going to be that are still in high school or that are actually in college right now, you just got some advice from one of your fellow wrestlers, you know, who's actually doing it right now. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. Kind of Rob has a couple questions. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on? How you doing today? How's everything been today?
I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good,
that's
and
cool.
you?
I'm well. Just hanging out, chatting with y'all. You know what I mean? Doing this interview thing. My day's always doing this is always a cool day. So you're up there in Chicago and stuff from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like it's the windy city. Is it really windy like that? Do you gotta wear windbreakers and watch your umbrella? Before you go outside and turns inside out. Is that true?
Well, for me, yes, only because
Okay.
I tend to get cold a lot. I
Okay.
Yeah, I tend to get really cold easily. Like I know where in the summer you probably see me with a blanket, and I know I might sound a little crazy, but I get cold really quick.
Hmm.
Like if I'm in a room with like room temperature, I get cold. I gotta have a blanket on me all times.
There you go. There you go. Man, hey, at least you got the blanket on you right now. You know what I mean? So I guess it ain't cold enough yet. You know what I mean? So, so I gotta ask. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing some research and stuff, and I seen you posted a thing up. It was on the what's that website, y'all? The younger people just see. I'm in my 40s. You know what I mean? Y'all do what's that thing called Tic Tac? You know what I mean? You're like something about boys or something on. You're walking, and all of a sudden you got super kicked. You know what I mean? What happened with there? You know what I mean? What was up with that? You know what I mean? Like yeah, what happened there? Because I was sitting here, I was waiting for something to happen, a little skit, and then bam, I was like, what in the world?
I don't remember that one actually. I don't think so.
Okay, well, never mind then. You know what I mean?
Um,
Be like the Men in Black thing.
I don't think I
We
remember
can
that
move
one.
on to the next
I don't
question.
remember. I don't recall getting kicked in the face. Only by
Okay, yeah,
myself,
because it was on.
kind of.
Yeah, I was on Instagram. I was just doing research, and I seen that on there. I was like, oh, okay, that's a Tic Tac thing. I was like, oh, okay. Somebody, you came out slow motion, and then somebody did that, and then the dude came out walking slow motion. I was like, all right, cool. That was pretty cool. So anyway, what I mean, you've been wrestling since man, it's crazy. You're 18, but you're a 6-year vet. You know what I mean? It's crazy to say that. You know what I mean? So I do gotta ask. Since you've been wrestling for that long, what's the farthest you traveled? Have you just been pretty much around the Midwest? Have you gone down south? West Coast, East Coast, or anything yet? Maybe even overseas or a different
Um,
country?
Actually, Sunday I just came back from New York, so it
Oh,
was
okay.
actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So how was your New York trip?
Um,
How'd you like it there?
it was it was actually really cold. I thought it was gonna be really a little warm than I thought,
Hmm.
but it was actually a little cold. But I had a lot of fun because I got to wrestle Kikyo, Valentina Loca,
Hmm.
and Diosa Quetzal. Diosa Quetzal
Oh,
has
okay.
been on out of Mexico Lucha Libre type um, of wrestling, and I grew up watching all of them. So like for me to be in matches with them, I'm just like, oh my
Mhm.
god, and I'm friends with them. It was an amazing experience, you know. And then the day after, like I was with
Mhm.
Valentina in the airport, and we were just dealing with like I was on no sleep, but she was on a little bit of sleep. But we were just talking to the girls that were next to us, and it was kind of funny because we were dealing with like a woman that was like on her For You page at what 3-4 o'clock, just boasting, and we're just like, oh my god,
Oh
who
Lord.
does that?
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, yeah, that's some wild stuff happening out there and stuff. You know what I mean? So traveling around there and stuff. Did you collect any championships? Because I did see a thing. You have four champion. Is it still four championships you have on you right now, or have you added to that collection?
I I currently only now have one,
Oh
sadly.
man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Uh,
to bring it up.
yeah, it's okay. Um, one was taken away from Heather Reckless.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, the other one was taken away by Missa. Haven't gotten a match. And then the third one, I believe that company does no longer exist. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Hey, look.
but I
Hopefully you
still
get
have
them
one.
rematches back. Yeah, hopefully you get the like you said earlier, you get to run those matches back. You can get that gold back around your shoulders and stuff. Then I guess you'd be three-time champ and start adding on to that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep adding.
That's right. You'd be like, I remember when I was a kid, Ultimo Dragon would roll out there like WCW. You have like 9 championships from all over the world. Just like that's what I do. You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna see you do one day.
I actually walked down like my graduation aisle with a title. I don't know if you saw that around my social media. I I got to
Okay,
like walk around with one of my titles. I'm like, yeah, we're doing this. We're grabbing a
that's pretty
diploma.
cool.
We're grabbing the diploma, and we're gonna have a title right next to us.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. That's gotta be awesome. You know what I mean? So were people in school, where people thought it was awesome that you were a wrestler and stuff and champion?
My teachers are actually like my high school teachers are fans, and it's like, oh my god, you're a wrestler, this and this. So like when I was in high school, there was a bruise on my face. Like, oh, that's not for her. That's okay.
Mhm.
Like they're
Yeah, I
just
know.
seeing yeah. And
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
surprisingly,
wrestling.
surprisingly, I actually have a show at my high school this Sunday. So I'm like I'm fully there, but I'm not like, and I'm wrestling Missa, so I'm really
Ooh.
excited.
Hey, hopefully, she brings that championship. You know what I mean? So you can get it and win it back in your home, your home school. That would be awesome.
And it's for the Galley Women's title, so it's at home. So
Mm,
we'll see about it.
that's right. Be like, yeah, you used to run these halls, and now you're gonna run this ring in here tonight.
Definitely.
That's right. That's right. So, I do gotta ask, see, before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff. Well, hold on. Before I ask that, I did get to see you're a fan of the Titanic. I seen you at the Titanic Museum and stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, is that true? How many times have you seen that movie?
I saw it twice because it was too
Twice.
long, but it took me about a week to finish.
Hmm.
Um,
Now, what?
but
Now, I was gonna say, what did you
I
think at the end? Do you think Leo could have fit on that board with her?
yes, yes,
You do?
he definitely could have. Yeah,
Okay.
there's different ways they could have reached that point. He did not have to die.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, I've heard a bunch of stuff like on MythBusters where they like, no, there's no way, and then there's like, oh yeah, there is ways. So I don't know, you know what I mean? So I'm glad I wasn't there to,
The
test it out.
weights, the weights, they couldn't. It couldn't hold both their weights.
Yeah, I don't know how much they weigh. I don't want. I'll say she was less than 100, so I don't get beat up. You know what I mean? Leo at the time, he's probably like my size, probably around what, like 150, 160. Yeah, maybe I don't know. So before I pass it on back to Remy, I do got to ask, are there any new movies and TV shows you're watching right now? Because I'm always trying to find something new because I'll get stuck watching the same stuff over and over. Like well, right now I'm watching Archer and What We Do in the Shadows. So I'm trying to catch up on that. So I guess that's but that's I've been watching that all the time anyways. But what have you been watching?
Um, so I'm one of those girls that like watches Grey's Anatomy, even though it's like
Okay.
19 seasons. But I also watch Manifest, which is a show about a
Oh.
plane who gets lost. I'm not gonna give
Mhm.
away too much, but it's
I
actually
know what
really
you're talking
good.
about. It's on
So I
Netflix. Yeah, it's
recommend
on
that one.
Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen. I've seen like I think the first season. I haven't gone past. I haven't seen much after that. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Manifest. Yeah, that's yeah, it's pretty good. It's wild. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Manifest is like my one of my all-time favorites.
Mm. Could you imagine that though? You get on a plane and you're like, okay, mom or dad or whatever. What I mean, I'm going here and I'll see you there or whatever. And then 5 years later, you just roll up and they're like, oh my god, what in the world? Oh man, that's good. Oh man, that's gotta be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably freak out. I'd just be like, oh my lord, man, just yeah, I can't do it. Somebody give me some whiskey.
No,
I'd be like,
that's
somebody give me some whiskey.
yeah.
I don't drink, but give me some whiskey.
No, yeah. I got a little scared coming home from uh Syracuse, New York, because like there was
Mhm.
actually turbulence coming to Chicago,
Ooh.
yes, on Sunday, and I'm like, oh no, this is all manifest. Like it
Mm.
was giving manifest vibes. So I'm just like, oh no, don't die.
Oh. Oh man. Well, I'm glad you made it out. Because I've been on the plane too, and I had a little turbulence. I was like, okay, yeah, I think I'm good. Oh man, yeah. Because usually I'm more of a person. If I can drive there, I'll drive there. You know what I mean? Because I like seeing the scenery, and plus, what I mean, there might be some sights on the road, like the country's biggest ball of yarn, or a haunted house or something. Like they do tours of or something. Something cool like that.
Yeah,
So anyway, I do want to say, thank you very much for coming on the show and chatting with us. I know you're busy and all that, and and yeah, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I wish you nothing but the best in what you do and your future endeavors. I hope you go around the whole country kicking butt, taking titles from everywhere. I hope you get to go across the across Europe, Asia, South America, Australia, get all those titles over there. So you have your own picture with like yo, I conquered the world. You know what I mean? So I hope you get to do all the things you want to do in life and all that good stuff.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Leslie. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We truly and really and truly do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you on TV. Best believe when we see that, we'll definitely be cheering for you because, like I said, we like to see people work hard as you've been doing, and get rewarded as well too. And I got a gut feeling that it's going to happen very soon as well, the way you're going. So before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out where your next appearances, purchase Leslie La Muñeca merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Well, on Facebook, I am down as Leslie Michelle, and Instagram and Twitter, I am down as Leslie La Muñeca.
Awesome. So y'all heard she's definitely on social media. bookers, promoters, she's definitely on social media. That's where you can hit her up. Make sure y'all are following this woman because she's doing great things and they're only going to get greater. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Tommy to my Ghost, and the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out when your next appearance is, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on X, what used to be Twitter, and Instagram at Rob_Base82, Facebook Rob Base. You can catch me September 30th, 1CW. We're going to be at Milford, Delaware at the VFW. It's an outside show. We're going to be right on the water. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be a nice, gorgeous day. So definitely come on out. Then after that, October 7th, we're going to be doing a charity event. I'll get the location and details for you then. And then on October 14th, 1CW, we're in Selbyville. We have our Halloween show, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of feuds building up on there. You know, we got Tiny Tim, who turned his back on Ranch Hand Carlson and took the DSN Network Championship. So, you know, they got to settle things there. And you can catch it on the DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com, where you can get that, you know, look it on the website. You can check out old shows, you know, and all that. You know, hey, you might just see me counting to three or ring announcing somebody sometimes.
Awesome. Definitely, if you're in any of those areas at 1CWs, and check them out. They're doing great things. A lot of great men and women on that roster as well. Now, if you want to follow me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but every now and then do go to a couple of cool places. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well. You can also find our podcast on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, and also on Threads at Ringside Society. We're also on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group, and also we have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hoodies, we have long sleeve shirts. We got a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of cool designs. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. All you gotta do, wait, yeah, Teespring store. Sorry. Yeah, all you gotta do is just check us out. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where we sell. Where we have cool episodes like this one, like the one we had with J.W. Kirkland, who was a manager over at the Nightmare Factory. We've had Kiza, 24 Carat Honey. A lot of great men and women all over professional wrestling you can actually see those interviews on our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really gorgeous, handsome, dark blue and light blue yin yang sound, the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing. Like Aerosmith in 1998. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling so happy right now, man. I just feel this big aura of happiness. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, should I hit him with it? Should I tell him what's next?
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, in a little over an hour, more specifically an hour and 19 minutes, we're gonna have another episode of Ringside Society. Right, we're doing a double shot tonight because we're feeling that good. We're feeling kind of crazy, and our special guest at 9:00 p.m., which is going to be 6:00 p.m. for all my West Coast riders, and 8:00 p.m. for all my people in the middle. Our special guest is going to be from the Nightmare Factory Camp 6. I don't know if to put 5 on 1 or 3 and 3, but Camp 6. He's a guy who's actually participated in Impact Wrestling's Gut Check, and he's also teamed recently with Jake Christ. He's none other than Justin Pac-Man Xavier, the Mole Breaker. He'll definitely be on our show, so make sure you actually stay tuned for that. That's happening in an hour 18 minutes. So with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. I'm not going to say we strive. We are one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could and should and would listen to, and we're not going to stop being that. So those of y'all that are listening later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, and really can't stand, no, for those of y'all that really hate us, can't stand us, and just want us to go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of our podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So with that being said, hey yo, Rob Bass. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the incredible Leslie La Muñeca, all the way from the Windy City, Chi-Town.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back in a little over an hour with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.